Hi everyone, my name is Mike Lawrence. I graduated here in 1999. So my major was political science, and I chose that major because I liked politics and I like writing. So those are reading and writing about political science, really, that's what I wanted to do. So I don't think it's important to choose a major based on what you think law school will be like. I think any student should study what they enjoy and make themselves as well-rounded an individual as possible, because law school is just a different animal, and you'll sort of immerse yourself in that world once you're there. A lot of people stress out about how they do in law school, especially their first year. I would say, well, I have to do things a certain way, I have to present this way or that way. And I think I've learned over the years that the most important asset is really who you are and your experiences. And if you kind of bring that out into your professional life, a lot of the clients that are right for you will kind of find you. I think the coolest thing about law school is, this is gonna sound funny, it's really the same class taken 40 times. So it's literally, the law is the same. The law is what the law is. You're reading cases, you're reading statutes. The only thing that changes are the people behind them. Obviously in entertainment law, it's musicians or creators or trusted estates. It's about people who are dying. It kind of helps you as a lawyer in that there's always gonna be new technologies and things that come around the pike, but you kind of, because of law school and education like that, you kind of know how to, when new things come up, to put it in a context and sort of build on what new that's happening. I think writing is pretty important. Well, not pretty, but very important. And just thinking critically, and you'll develop that skill in any class that's about reading and analyzing and writing reports of that sort of nature. Data is pretty important. Excel is important. And beyond that, I think a well-rounded education can contribute to the basic foundational things that will serve you. Yeah, I definitely took it seriously. I'm not the most natural, standardized test taker. And so what I did was, basically I took practice tests, but I really analyzed the answers. I really tried to understand on a deep level, why the answer in the answer key was the way, right answer. And I think if you do that enough times, you start to see the patterns yourself, what answers are the more right answers.
Learning the test is a key part of doing well on the test. It's structured, they repeat and recycle questions, not identically. They might switch something up, they might change a positive to a negative, and that changes the answer. I know you mentioned more right, which drove me crazy, because if anyone's already taken the LSAT exam or learned about it, it's actually that. There might be two right answers, there's just one that's more right.
I think the biggest thing that I witnessed in law school is just the grind of it. So I thought I was a pretty good student here in Binghamton. I did really well. But the thing that's different in law school is just the volume of reading that you have to do. I never really felt like I could do all of it and do all of it to the point that I was happy. I know the material. There was so in law school there's this thing called the Socratic method, which is basically Adam was saying, you're in this big lecture hall, and professors will call one or two people randomly every day of the semester, and they'll just grill these students on a case that you're supposed to read. Just the people that go to law school. So I feel I'm a pretty laid back person, but in law school it's everyone who's there has done really well, and they tend to be very type A people. So that was really a difference for me. After the first year, I did do college radio. I did college radio here in Binghamton, but when I was in law school, I also did college radio, and that was just kind of like a way for me to do something fun and unwind and enjoy what I do. And it really, I mean, I go back to this, but I think stuff like that helps you even in your career, because it's like you have these hobbies or these experiences that you could talk to your clients about, and sometimes they help connect you with like the community that you're serving.
I get your 1L is going to be super overwhelming, and it is, but like you also need to find time to kind of like be yourself. I do think that if you're like all about classwork, and like you even mentioned it before, where it's like you have so much work that it's almost like set up where like they give you work that like they know you're not going to be able to balance it a little bit, because if you're all about schoolwork and you're driving yourself crazy and you're stressed out every day and that's your entire life and you're not making time to go out and see friends and do certain things, it'll actually negatively affect your grades and how you act in school. At least that was how I always thought.
And I think those are great points. I think also because other people are going to be really stressed out. Like they're going to be visibly stressed out, and sometimes it's going to be hard to not let their stress levels affect your stress levels. But if you could take a step back and be like, okay, like just because like other people are like going insane, like I could just stay in my zone and set out the process that I want to follow and follow that process and let the results be what the results are, then I think that'll serve you well. So yeah, the reason why I chose entertainment law is, I'm passionate about music. I was a college radio DJ here, and I kind of, I didn't always like think of being a lawyer, but then I was a poli-sci major, and I knew I wanted to do something in entertainment and music specifically. And I thought to myself, well, if I could go to law school, get a law degree, and practice as an entertainment lawyer, that would really serve those, like my goals in that way. But it did take a while to get there. Like out of law school, I didn't get a job out of law school in entertainment law. I did litigation for a number of years. And it wasn't until I kind of made a decision at a certain point that, okay, like I'm gonna go all in with this entertainment law route, that I started getting clients. But even then, I didn't get to where I am today like overnight. It was like a slow build up of years of just doing odd jobs for friends of mine, going to a lot of shows, just immersing myself in the community. And once I started approaching it as I'm just gonna immerse myself in the artist community as opposed to like who can give me a job, that's when progress really started to happen. And it happened, although it wasn't the way that I was planning, I think it was like the best way and the most sustainable way, because I feel like I have a strong base of like people who know me really well and who I get referrals from pretty easily. Whereas like if I just got a job right away, like I, might have learned the law better because I was doing it all the time. But like, if that job just disappeared, I would overnight, not be an entertainment lawyer. Just know that, if it's something you want to do and you make the decision to do it, it might not happen right away, but maybe that's the best thing that could happen to you.
And so figure out what your passion is, whether it's law school or not, whether it's a lawyer or not, and make that work for you. And you'll do it through networking, through who you are and the fact that you love it. And not every day, and you don't love everything every day, but more often than not, that'll come through. And that's how you will succeed. And be open to surprise, because that's how life works too. I mean, I wasn't thinking about this. I spent 35 years doing it. Nobody would have thought of that when I was growing up or when I was in law school. But there you are, here I am on this panel. Drinking water and eating little mints. So you never know where things go. So be open, always remain flexible, because stuff will happen that you were not thinking about, but that fit you. No, no, go.
Yeah. No, it's important to be open because entertainment law is a very, it's not a big field. So odds are you're not gonna just like walk into your dream job right out of law school. So, and I also think it's important to, I mean, you have to feel out which situations, there's gonna be like hidden opportunities that come along. And you have to be able to sort of take advantage of those. Like for me, I got involved with this music venue, and that was like really the start of like when things picked up. And I think that opportunity was probably an opportunity that a lot of people wouldn't have taken because really it was wasn't a job and I wasn't getting paid a lot, but what it allowed me to do was be around a lot of artists and build relationships which have sustained me even today. So yeah, to the point where when I got involved with that venue, I felt like, oh, this is not really what I'm doing. I'm just kind of doing this as a hobby and helping a few friends here or there. But what happened was like after years of doing that, it was almost like one day I woke up and I was like, wow, I have like 8 or 9 clients. And I wasn't even like, I felt like I wasn't really planning on doing it that way. But essentially how I got there was because I really liked the work and I was just doing the work because I enjoyed it and I was able to ride out the years of like not feeling like I was where I wanted to be or being an entertainment lawyer. And then just magically like one day I woke up and I'm like, wow, I guess I am an entertainment lawyer because I have clients who are paying me. So, you know, it probably won't happen the way you think it's gonna happen, but just like stay open to opportunities, get to know people in the field that you want to get into. And, you know, if it's something that you enjoy doing, you're going to have the patience to ride it out until, you know, life has no choice but to reward you with success.
But my day-to-day is more or less just drafting contracts, negotiating the terms of those contracts. And that's more or less it. I'm in a lot of meetings, I know that. Yeah, that's really what it is for me.
I think it's the same. Drafting contracts is a big part of it. My favorite part of the job is just talking to the different artists and even the people we're going up against from time to time. This isn't something that has to be a part of the practice, but I like going to shows. I know lawyers who do what I do that don't feel like they have to, and you don't really need to, but I just find that like that really makes it hit home for me in a way that like I'm doing work for like these people and like helping them sort of like progress in their career. So it's yeah, I mean, it's important because it just becomes more real to you. Like one of the things that I didn't like about working at a mid-sized law firm doing litigation is I had no contact with the clients. I felt like I was a cog in the machine. And definitely doing this work, because I deal directly with the clients, I get to see like what my work is actually doing in their careers. I think you should think about, you know, how can I get clients, even if you get a job, like right out of law school, because the first year or two, if you're at a firm, you're just gonna be doing legal work. You're not gonna have like, and that is the skill that's gonna allow you to stay doing entertainment law, is your ability to get clients. So there's a lot of different ways to go about that. Like my way is just being as visible in the artist community as possible. But you know, other people have different strategies. And I think actually that part of it, you don't even have to wait until you graduate law school to do it. You could do it in law school. Just really surround yourself with the people that you see as future clients. So the clients I typically handle are artists who are in the early stages of their career and really are just starting to get a bigger platform. Yeah, mostly a lot of indie rock bands, hip hop acts, indie hip hop acts. And so the type of work I do are reviewing recording contracts, publishing deals. I even negotiate band members who get fired, or you know, I've done those cases too. So my advice would be to ask yourself if you want to be a lawyer. I know that's like basic question, but like, I feel like a lot of people go to law school just because like, oh, I'm done with undergrad and like, how am I going to get a job? And they just decide to go to law school for that reason. You either you have to know that you want to be a lawyer or have a reason why you want to be a lawyer. And, I was fortunate enough to have a reason, and it played out in my life, but still, it was not easy to get there. And I think, some of the things that I think that's great advice, what you said about being patient, because more than likely, your career is not going to unfold the way you think it is. And I think if you are doing something that you genuinely want to be doing, like I said before, that's going to allow you to ride out those periods where you're frustrated, that you're not where you expect to be at a certain point. And I think also, once you will probably have enough knowledge to be helpful to clients way earlier than you feel like you have value to give. And I think it's important also to really go within yourself and trust like all the training that you've done, up through college, through law school. And at a certain point, I feel like you have to feel like you have value to give. That's really, I think, when you're going to see the change in your career happen, like it's happened for me over the last like several years. Whatever it is you want to do exactly, start telling people that's what you do the second you pass the bar. Like, I'm a big believer in like always like speak like a little bit. If there's like a road that you want to go, always speak like a little bit ahead of that. And yeah, I'm a big believer in manifestation, actually. And so I just, for years I would just tell people I'm an entertainment lawyer, even though like maybe I had like 1 or 2 clients, but like I almost like made myself believe it until like it actually was the case. So I know it sounds silly, but I actually do believe that.